Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene, with, I think, bad lighting. I'm at Rogers, Superdollar, alone. Skylar chose to stay home. She is playing with her new teddy bear that she got today at the thrift store, and I have a box and a bag filled with baby clothes for her baby dolls, and she is dressing the teddy, who happens to fit nicely in most of that clothes, so she just did not want to go out. And I had to run out for milk. It's been a weird day, and I don't even know if you guys are going to want to see me all alone. I'm already depressed that she's leaving in 4 weeks from today. I just get like that. I have a hard time to enjoy things because I just see the bad side of stuff. How do I say it? It's like I had said, you know, people say it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved, and I said, I don't buy that, not even for a second. It's almost worse for me to have a wonderful time with my granddaughter because I won't always have her around me. So it's like, I'd almost rather just never have any nice things happen in my life. I really almost would. It would almost be nice to just be constantly miserable, because being just a consistent level of miserable is better than having some highs and then back to miserable, because that makes it feel even more miserable. I know that sounds awful, and I know that people would say it's the depression talking, and I do believe that. I do believe that it is the depression talking. The serotonin levels or whatever, the chemical imbalances weigh more heavily on that side of things. But the other thing is that it's just realistic. It's just realistic. Happy times are followed by sad times, by yet again more happy times, by yet again more sad times. And if I can't have it all just good, I'd rather have it all just bad. Because I don't like to be teased by the good stuff. Wow, gee, what a peppy talk this is. You can tell you're back to just me, can't you? So, we had a weird day. We got up, and I was just tired today. But everything was cool. Oh, my mother's helper was supposed to come, but then they called and said she was going to be an hour late and stay an hour later. And I was like, you know, I don't mind her coming an hour late, but staying an hour later now, she's going to be leaving at 5 instead of 4. That's like supper time. And she said that this particular person has already had a verbal warning and a written warning, and one more complaint, and she's out of there. And I was like, well, gee, I don't like that, because my mother kind of likes this girl, but there's a good chance that we will lose her. So I said, but it's okay if she comes today. She can stay an hour later today. And she says, well, I'll talk to her and tell her that next week that she needs to follow her schedule. Then they called me back about an hour later and said she just wasn't coming. So I don't know. I almost have a feeling we won't see her again. I just don't know. I feel very depressed today. Okay, so then we wanted to go thrifting. And I did take a chance. Somebody even mentioned it again. I've gone by the Threads of Hope thrift store in Sanford, which is in the Center for Shopping Mall area, which is where Shaw's is, and Dollar Tree and Applebee's and stuff like that. And I just knew it would be probably too expensive for me. And I know others will say, oh, I got some really good deals, or it's really cheap. But to me, a thrift store, I mean, I want yard sale prices or better. I don't want to go to a thrift store and buy used junk and pay Walmart prices. So we walked in. The first thing I looked at were some of the games. Now, at Another Chance in North Berwick, we pick up games, big games, board games, all kinds of games. 50 cents, $1. I think the most I've ever paid was $1.50. And grabbed a game, $3. Grabbed another game, $4. I was like, no thank you. So then I went and looked at the kids' clothes, the girls' clothes. First thing I see is a rack of shirts, $1.75 and up. I never pay more than 75 cents at Another Chance for clothes for Skylar, even if it's a winter coat. I mean, at 75 cents. Kids' clothes, 75 cents a piece. And so I walked out of that, and then out of curiosity, because Skylar likes books, we looked at the books. I picked up a book, just a little ratty book, $1. 15 cents I would pay for that at Another Chance. So we walked out empty-handed, and we saw a man walking with two armfuls of bulky things, and as he's walking, I noticed he drops what I thought was detergent. It was a big thing of kitty litter. just drops, and then he keeps walking, and the toilet paper falls out of his hand. I said to Skylar, I said, my gosh, that man is dropping things. Let's go help him. So just by the time it took for me to turn to her for us to get out of the car, he was on the ground. And I saw 2 other guys going up to him. So he was having some kind of a seizure or something. And the 2 guys that came called an ambulance. Another person brought a pillow. He was unresponsive. His eyes were open, but he couldn't say or do anything. And I could tell his hands were shaking. And took the ambulance about 15 minutes to get there, which I thought was a long time. And then he started to come out of it. But even before the ambulance got there, he was able to sit up, and now he was able to talk. He was, he seemed coherent and that he understood, and he seemed very nice. But we asked him, maybe you should just wait for them to check you out. So he said yes, and he did. He sat right there and waited. And then when the ambulance came, they just talked to him a little bit, and, they said, do you want us to take you? And he said no. And they said, well, we can't force you. And so the man got up, and they started picking up his bags, and they're like, where are you going? And he says, oh, I'm walking home. Now, for those of you who live in Sanford, I was in the center for shopping, where Shaw's is, and he was living at the Sanford Manor. So that's, it's a decent little hike. They can't give a ride, I guess. I guess they just can't. But I was like, we're not letting this man walk home. So I said, we will give you a ride home. And the fire department is like, are you sure? Are you sure? Now, I don't know. Are they concerned for my safety? Or maybe they're concerned for the man's safety? What do they think I'm going to do with this man? So I said, I totally will bring him home. I mean, I just go on Main Street, and then the manor's there. I mean, gee whiz, what can possibly happen? I think people are just a little too paranoid sometimes, So the man even was hesitant, and, I says, you can't walk home carrying these things, and you just suffered some kind of a seizure. I mean, it's like, my goodness. So he agreed. His name was Tom, and he agreed. He said, yes, I will take a ride home. And I said, okay. So then the fire department says, well, we'll follow you. So they can follow me to make sure everyone is safe. And they followed me right into the manor, right up to the door. And I got out, helped the man out, got his bags, and, left him there at the sidewalk. He was walking up to his apartment. But they couldn't give him a ride. And I mean, and again, I understand that. But it seems like there should be, I don't know, call him a cab? Maybe at least offer that? Even if they're not going to pay for it? But couldn't they pay for it? I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know. If I wouldn't have been there was nobody else offering to give him a ride. I mean, they would have just really let this man just walk with armfuls of stuff. I don't know. Okay, so then Skylar and I went to another chance, and it was so hot in there, so I now know that they do not have air conditioning. I don't know why I never realized that before, unless maybe they did before and they just don't right now. And there were a few people in there, and it's a very tiny place, and it was just, even Skylar was like, Meme, I am hot. And I was like, yeah, me too. So she picked up a stuffed animal, because she loves stuffed animals, for $1. And, it's funny, I don't want to pay $1 for a jacket for her, but I will pay $1 for a stuffed animal because it's like her one thing that she really loves. And she just absolutely loved it. A big pink teddy bear with a princess pillow, and she just loves it, and she's home playing with it right now. So that was $1 well spent. The other thing is, we could not think of a name that Skylar really liked for her new YouTube channel, and we were going to indeed end up going with Skylar Loves Pink, which was her first choice, but then she didn't really like it, and then we couldn't think of anything she liked, so I put it out there to you guys that she was looking for a channel name, and you gave a lot of suggestions, and I read some to her, and she stopped me on Skylar's World. That was it. So I believe it is, I don't know if it's Cassie or Casey. K-A-S-I-E. Cassie. I'm going with Cassie. Thank you for the suggestion. I think you gave like several suggestions. And she went with Skylar's World, and there were a lot of suggestions out there. She just happened to like that one. So her channel is set up. And I'm just going through the steps of monetizing it and all that. So I will be hopefully getting her to learn how to publish her own videos. And I'm hoping that I can get Derek involved in that, because I want him to do YouTube too. He could give bass lessons on YouTube. I would just love for him to do something like that. All right, it is hot in here, hot and toasty. I'm gonna go park closer to the door because I'm probably 30 feet away. Who wants to walk 30 feet if I can be right at the door? Is there anything else? I cooked chicken wings. I defrosted the rest of my mother's chicken wings that I was experimenting with, and I just wanted to cook them. I broiled these babies with nothing, not even salt. Best wings ever. That's because I like to taste the chicken. I don't think I've ever eaten a chicken wing that tastes like chicken. It tastes like whatever it was marinated in or whatever it was coated in. These were just wings with no salt, no pepper, no seasoning, no marinating, nothing. I cooked them 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, and then I did turn them again for another 10 minutes, and that was probably a little bit too much. It could be, but they were good. I shouldn't say that was too much. They were very good, very juicy. Did add a sprinkle of salt after they were cooked because I knew my mother would want some salt on them. She loved them. Skylar and I still have a concoction video to finish up. All of a sudden today, she's just pooped out, doesn't feel like doing YouTube. And I'm surprised she has done it as often as she has because, honest to goodness, I do not force her at all. I'm just like, I want to do a video. Oh yeah, what are we going to do? Let's do this, let's do that. So today she's like, nah, I don't feel like it. She didn't care to be in the update. She didn't care to do the concoction, but so I still want to do it, and I'm just going to tell her I'm doing it, and if she wants to join me, she can. And if not, then it'll be good for me to get back to being alone sometimes so I can get used to it. All right, everybody, I'm going in. Am I going to talk to you when I get out? I probably am. All right, let me go I'm here for milk and meat. Gee whiz, I was halfway home before it dawned on me that I didn't say bye to you guys. What is wrong with me? I'm just so out of my element. It's like, you know, lately I haven't been doing a lot of tag-alongs. I've been just doing stuff in the house with Skylar. So just got out of the store and just got in my car and drove off. I did want to say bye. I'm actually feeling very, very down in the dumps today. So I did get just some milk, some chicken patties for Skylar, some imitation crab meat stuff for my mother, bacon ends for me, and that is it. Seems like I bought, oh, and a loaf of bread for my mother. And I just wanted to look real quick at their little flyers. Where are we? June 20 through the 26th. See if there's anything in here of interest. They've been serving Sanford since 1936. Thought it was even before that. I don't know. Anything next week? They have a Facebook page. That's interesting. I don't care about any of this. Sorry. Just don't. Just hope I can get in the house and stay cool. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to say bye. I don't know what to talk about. I feel like I'm a downer today. I'm just looking for words. I don't have my sidekick, and I'm lost without her suddenly. So anyway, I will just say bye, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.